The Packers then finished the second game of their doubleheader, facing off against the Vikings. The game started off with a handoff to Jackson Spradling, and he ended up picking up 15 yards on the play. Keith Davidson hitting Maddox Mihal down the field for a fantastic catch. Starting off here with Malcolm Sage, who broke away for a huge gain of roughly 30 yards. As the Packers went to the air, a fantastic play by Everest McPherson. On the next play, the Packers get a break as the Vikings snapped the ball in the end zone, giving the Packers a safety and a 2-point lead. The Packers went back to their ground game and went to Skylar Hughes. She took off down the sideline, ended up making one cut, and then went up for a touchdown to put the Packers up 8-0. The Vikings answer right back with a handoff to Maddox Mihal, who takes it right down the sideline and sprints down to get the touchdown. The Packers again keep it on the ground. Skylar Hughes takes the ball and then goes down the sideline, making one little move, and she's gone for another touchdown for the Packers. The Packers then pick up the conversion with Kenneth Dry to third, bringing the ball into the end zone. Here, see Elijah Alexander on the ground, picking up roughly 20 yards on a nice run. Keith Davidson then got the Vikings back in the game with a simple halfback dive right up the middle, cuts the defense in half, and he's gone for the touchdown. Davidson then hits Mihal in the end zone for a 2-point conversion, bringing the Vikings within one. The Packers come right down the field. Jackson Miller with a 15-yard gain on the ground going out of bounds. Skylar Hughes followed that up with a 20-yard run, bringing the Packers within scoring distance. Kenneth Dry then hits Skylar Hughes in the end zone for the touchdown. In this back-and-forth game, Everest McPherson takes the ball, makes one move, and he's gone, bringing the Vikings within 2. Down 2, the Vikings decide to go for 1, thinking there's plenty of time left, and they convert. The Packers, trying to take up as much time as they can, went to the ground first with Jackson Miller. Then we had Kenneth Dry to third, Malcolm Sage, and Skylar Hughes ends up scoring the touchdown. Jackson Miller ended up getting the 1-point conversion, putting the Packers up by 8 points. As time was expiring, the Vikings went to their superstar Keith Davidson, and he took the ball and went all the way down for the touchdown. Down 2, the Vikings put their faith in Maddox Mihal, and he didn't disappoint, taking the ball into the end zone and tying the game with the 2-point conversion with no time left. It turns out, after a long review of the rules, the game had to end in a tie, 29-29 between the Packers and Vikings. For the Vikings, a lot to talk about. Keith Davidson, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. Maddox Mihal, 70 total yards and a touchdown. Everest McPherson, 35 rushing yards. Remember that beautiful pick earlier? And Carter Greenwood had 20 rushing yards and 3 flagpoles. For the Packers, a lot of rushing yards here. Skylar Hughes, 135 total yards, 4 total touchdowns. Kenneth Dry to third, 50 rushing yards, a touchdown. Got credit for that safety because he was closest to the ball. Jackson Miller, 41 rushing yards, 5 flagpoles leading the team, and Malcolm Sage with 58 rushing yards. The great thing is, next week we get to see these 2 teams settle it once and for all. There will be no ties next week as they face off in the first round of the playoffs in our first ever Stample Sports NFL Flag Playoff game.